Hello, my name is Charles Ardinger, and I'll be working with you as your instructor in the English 100 class you're about to start. I'm making this brief video presentation to introduce myself and to discuss a few aspects of the class that you should know about to make navigating the course a little bit easier for you, and give you a better chance at success, which is what we all want for each of us. So, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Charles Ardinger. Hello. I've been working here at Coastline since about 2013, beginning in the Student Success Department and becoming an instructor here in the English Department, where I teach English 100. Among my many aspects is I consider myself kind of an expert in English grammar. It's a subject I love. I really enjoy discussing it, and I very much enjoy answering questions about it. So if you have any kind of questions about English grammar as we continue, I very much hope that you'll email me, and we can have a conversation about that. And that's enough about me for now. You'll probably learn more about me as we continue in our course, as I will about you through our writing. Excuse me. But now I'd like to show you some aspects of the class and tell you a little bit more about them. So this is our class's home page or front page. You'll know it's our class because, it has our class's name on it. This is where you will begin most of your sessions with this class, and there are a few things that I want to point out. Right here on this front page, for instance, I want you to notice this schedule down the right side, and also down the center. This is a list of dates accompanied by the assignments that are due on those dates. So if you're wondering what you should be doing at any time, just look at the front page of the class and know the day that you're looking at it on, and that should tell you what you should be working on. For instance, this Saturday you'll be finishing a discussion. Sunday you'll be handing in a quiz and an assignment, and so on. That's a good way to practice time management, which is a very important skill to have in an online class. Since we don't meet physically in a classroom, you kind of have to keep track of your assignments on your own, and this is a good way to help yourself do that. I also want to show you on this front page where you can find these announcements. I'll be making an announcement of this kind once or twice a week. I'll write a little paragraph about something I'm seeing in class or about something I've seen in my life that relates to class, or a thought I've had that might help you as you continue. The best way to find these announcements is to go to the top of our front page, find the title of the announcement, the most recent announcement, and click on it. That will send you to a page that looks like this. If you like, you can pause this video for a moment and read this announcement. It says pretty much the same thing I just said. They'll be about 1 or 2 times a week. They'll be discussing things I've seen in class or thought about class, and they are useful. I won't be grading on what I give you in these announcements, but you will probably find the advice useful as we continue. So I really suggest that you read them as they come out. Read them carefully. If you have questions about them, please feel free to ask me. I want to point out also that some of these announcements can be replied to, so if you'd like to use them as an excuse to start a conversation, feel free. I think that would be wonderful. And that's one way that I'll be communicating with you throughout our course. Another way I'll be communicating with you is through the assignments that you turn in. I'll give each of these assignments a grade. Of course, this is a class. But I will also make comments on the assignment. I'll give you feedback. And the best way to find feedback is to go through this link that says Grades, which will take you to a page that looks like this. And you'll notice on this page there are assignments arranged by their due date. And in fact, I have posed as a student to fill in this particular assignment so that I can grade it and show you what that looks like. So, to look at a particular assignment, click on the assignment's title, and you will see a page that looks like this. And on that page you will find a comment, a link that says Show Rubric, and a link that says View Feedback. These are all the ways that you can get more information on how an assignment might have done. To begin with, I will write a comment like this one for everything you submit to me. The idea is that these comments will provide you with a response to your work. I can tell you how I felt about it as a reader, what I saw in it, what seemed to be missing, what you can do for a future assignment that will give your work a more academic quality, which is kind of what you're looking for in this class. Reading these comments will help you greatly. I strongly suggest you do so for every assignment. And in fact, for some assignments, you will have to go back and read these comments so you can revise your work. Also, there is this link here that says Show Rubric. Now, a rubric is a chart of criteria, things that a work should have, and point values associated with how well your work met those criteria. So this particular work followed the TETS pattern. You'll learn more about that soon, closely. It followed the outline pattern closely, but it didn't quite make itself follow its own outline. That's a problem, clearly, so this student got some points knocked off. Therefore, he knows that in the future, making an outline, he should make the work follow the outline. This will help in the future. So looking at the rubric is a good way to keep refining your work as we keep going. And finally, this link that says View Feedback will produce a very small copy of the work you sent in. Now, this is particularly small because I have to use a small window for my camera software. Yours will probably be larger and easier to read. I want to point out in this view that you can see annotations. This is an annotation. Think of it as what I might write if you gave me a typed submission on a piece of paper and I wrote on it with a pen and gave it back to you. These annotations will mainly concern little bits of grammar, little ways that you can make a sentence seem more academic in tone. So I'll just write suggestions on your assignment itself. I will also sometimes make highlighted annotations. This is a highlight. It leads to this highlighted annotation. I will use those for comments that I want to make that don't fit between the lines of your text. Often they will be comments about how I don't understand a sentence and perhaps suggestions for how the sentence might come off more sensible to me, your reader. So looking at this View Feedback link, looking at this Show Rubric link, and looking at this comment are ways that you can get more feedback from me about your assignments. They're ways that I can communicate with you about your work. But there might be better ways. Since this is an online class, there is necessarily some distance between us. There's distance in terms of space, we're not in the same place, and distance in terms of time. You're receiving this message long after I actually said these words. I suppose not long after, maybe a few hours, depending on when you watch this video, but there's a distance. I'd like to do something to bridge this distance, and so I have instituted what I call student visiting time. Student visiting time, you might think of as my office hours. It's a way for you and me to meet personally, without the distance of grades or assignments between us. It's a Zoom meeting where you and I can just, talk. We can talk about what's going on in class. We can talk about assignments that make little sense to you. I could probably try to explain myself. We can talk about what's going on in your life, if you like. We can talk about anything that people normally talk about. The idea is that we can communicate with each other as humans and connect on a level that will help you probably do better in this class and maybe, feel better as a student. The way to get to these Zoom meetings is to go through this link that will take you to my Zoom office. It's a kind of permanent recurring meeting that I've set up. In our case, we'll be meeting on Thursdays between 1830 and 2000 if you like military time, or 6:30 and 8 p.m. if you like civilian time, in the Pacific time zone. So if you live in some place other than the west coast of the United States, you'll have to do a little calculating to find out what time these meetings are, but I think it'll be worth it. I look forward to getting together with you and having conversations, and I want to point out that there is an extra credit element to these student visiting time meetings, which you can learn more about by looking at the class's syllabus. And the final thing that I want to point out is these optional grammar refresher modules. These modules are little automated modules consisting of a lecture and a self-guided test that you can take to see what your skill level is like at particular areas of grammar. Now, I have these particular areas of grammar already as modules, but I can make more if there's an interest. So if you want to, let me know what areas of grammar you'd like to look at, and we can get together perhaps and help whole classes of people by making a new module. And that's what I want to show you on the class's homepage. I wanted to show you this schedule. I wanted to show you these announcements. I wanted to show you how to get feedback. I wanted to show you the grammar refresher modules, and I wanted to show you student visiting time. And now I've done that, which means that this video presentation has pretty much come to an end. I want to close by saying thank you. First, I'd like to thank you for enrolling in the class. There could not be a class without you. Without a student, there's no need for any kind of class, therefore no need for a job for me. So, thank you for keeping me employed. I'd also like to thank you in advance for asking me questions. I can't know when I'm not making sense if somebody doesn't tell me, so I'll be relying on you to ask me questions about what you see in class. You can reach me through email, either through the email address that you'll see in the syllabus or through the message sending function of your inbox. Either way, please let me know what you think. As I say, I depend on it for operating the class completely. So thank you again in advance for that. And finally, thank you very much for your time and attention.